Oh, no, I didn't look yet. Okay. You know, why don't you just put it outside the container and then they can pick it up if they want to? Good afternoon, everybody. For Villanova, it's going to be Josh Hart and Ryan Archidiacono with Coach Wright. And when Georgetown comes, it's going to be Brad Hayes and Devontae Smith-Rivera. This. Sure. And for Villanova, this is the first time they've defeated Georgetown in the Big East tournament. They've only played 5 times before. They're only 5 times before, but Georgetown had won all 5. They haven't played since '08, but this is Villanova's first win over Georgetown in the Big East tournament. So as most of you know in the room, Villanova's 3rd year in a row is the number 1 seed. They are now 8-3 in the Big East tournament as the number 1 seed. And again, we have our ASAP people here who got off to a great start last night, ready to do 4 games today like the rest of us. Does this side of the room have any opinions on the trains or anything? Because, we're talking, Villanova's on its way. And again, we ask that you raise your hand and we'll call on you, and please speak loudly so our ASA people can hear the question. Again, we have Josh Hart, Ryan Archidiacono, and Coach Wright coming. Yeah. And Coach Jay Wright has joined us.
All right, Johnny. Very, very good win for us. I'm very pleased with our team. That Georgetown team is a very good team. Played a great game last night and played very well again today. They have not quit on John all year, and they've had tons of injuries. They're young. That is going to be a good team next year. They've stuck together to the end, and that's why I told our guys that these guys are good. Doesn't matter what the record is, and they played that way tonight. So I was pleased that we could come out of that with a victory.
Questions, please, and turn off your phones, please. Right here in the middle.
Is there a mic going around? You just want to?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Coach, you had not a single double-digit score until about the 7th minute in the second half, and then obviously you have 3 guys finish in double digits. What kind of led you to that transition there?
Well, teams do a good job, and Georgetown did, of trying to get at Ryan and Josh and Chris. They know who to go after, and I think that was part of the first half. We just couldn't get those guys going, and we have to just continue to play defense, hang in until we can break free. And I think once we got a couple stops to get out in transition, Josh is, I think, one of the best players in the country in transition. And then that got us going, and we were able to get some good things in the half court offense.
In the middle, Bob.
Georgetown puts teams on the line a lot, and you did not get a single free throw first half. Did you make a concerted effort to try to get inside a little bit, try to get a little more contact and get there?
Definitely. I thought in the first half, they were very physical. Both teams were. Neither team got to the foul line. So but we weren't playing through their physicality. We were driving the ball, and they were kind of pushing us off our line, and we were just throwing shots up rather than being strong. So we did. We talked about that at halftime, and it was important. Getting to the foul line was important.
It's staying in the middle.
You guys were forced to go a little bit small after the injury with Daniel there. Was that part of the game plan maybe anyway when you saw the response, especially when they were trying to really kind of feed in on Arch and he seemed to really kind of thrive on you guys?
Yeah, we actually, the last time we played them, they pressed us a lot. So we did use the small lineup by plan against the press. We would have rather not done it tonight, but it was good that we had just played them that way, and we had to tonight. Darryl gave us great minutes, but he was tired, and it was good. It was good against the press.
Over here on the right, Josh.
Jay, at this point, do you feel like you've done enough to be locked in as a 1 seed, and just at this point, how much pressure is there to get to the second weekend of the tournament?
I know our people are tired of hearing this, but we just really do not care. We just don't care about the seeds. We don't think about the seeds. We really concentrate on enjoying this moment. We really do. I know it sounds corny, but it's just what we do. Like, we love being here right now. We love that game, and we are fired up about playing tomorrow. And then, because we're going to have plenty of time when this is over, we'll sit around doing nothing except listen to everybody talk about seeds. So we'll do it then. And there's a lot of pressure from the outside on this team to get to the second weekend. There is. But we just take it one game at a time. It's not, if we don't get there, it's not going to kill us. We'll be really disappointed, but we're going to enjoy every step. If we're playing to get there, we're in pretty good shape, and then we'll take it as it comes.
Right here in the middle.
Coach, just in terms of, getting to that end, I'm just wondering if you think of it not just in terms of, the program itself, but just, as far as the Big East here in year 3, and you guys have been the standard bearer and represented the league in sort of a larger sense.
Yeah, we definitely let down the Big East last year. I know we were a good enough team to advance. We didn't do it, but that's we take responsibility for that, really. But our guys played hard in that game against NC State. They brought it. We came all the way back to get a shot to win the game, with 14 seconds, and it didn't go in. That's the tournament. So we do take that responsibility seriously. I really would like us to get to a Final Four for the Big East as much as for these guys. I really would, because we love this league, and this league, we want this league to get respect. And but if we don't do it, I'd love Xavier or Providence or Butler. So Seton Hall, I'd love them to do it. I really would. For the league, I would love to see that happen, and I know they're good enough to do it.
Ruben in the middle.
Arch, I think it was 1 point game there, 47, 46 maybe. He hit the first of those threes right from the same spot there. What is it about that spot? Is that spot? What made you so aggressive taking that shot tonight?
I think he was out in transition, and I know I'm not going to finish at the rim. I know I'll pass that, and anytime I'm close to the lane, I'll give it to Josh or Phil or any of the other guys. But I didn't think we had numbers, but Coach always tells me to be aggressive, and we do that in practice. If I get out in transition, I'm pretty much the only one who pulls up. So that was just a product of us getting out. I think we got a couple stops is where it really turned, and I was able to get those open looks from from causing turnovers, a couple great blitzes.
Joe, left side.
Jay, what was your plan with Daniel today, and did you get more out of him than you expected, or less? Or
You know what? He couldn't practice yesterday, so we didn't know. We really didn't know. The plan was we had a choice to try to let him go yesterday and practice, see what he got, or rest him and see what he got today. So we went with today, and he tried a little bit. I think it got tweaked again. He tried, and he gave us everything we got. We got to just try to rest him up, see if we can get him feeling a little bit better tomorrow.
Dick.
Jay, you've got some more kids in your team. Does the Georgetown games resonate more with maybe
You know what? And Josh, you should answer this too, but I don't think so. But I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't. Does it?
Oh, no.
That means yes. That means yes. That means he doesn't want me to want him to. That means yes.
Right here in the middle.
We never talk about it, but there's your answer.
Jay, can you talk about your team's three-point shooting? You had that big three-pointer to end the first half, and then you went on that run in the second half.
Yeah, I think our threes kept us in it in the first half. Like I said, we were driving the ball. We were struggling finishing at the rim. We were going inside, struggling finishing at the rim. And that's why we shoot threes. We have the balance where we can shoot them, and there's going to be some nights when you can't finish at the rim, and you're going to have to rely on them. You can lose that way, but it gives you a hell of a chance to win. And thank God for the threes tonight.
Second row, right side, Richard.
Coach, can you talk a little bit more about Josh? Sixth man last year, now sort of one of your key guys, and especially what he did today.
Yeah. I'm just so proud of him. I don't really say that to him too much, but because he's not even close to what he could be. And you guys that have watched him since his freshman year, you've seen how much he's developed, and he can get a lot better. He can get to be a much better leader. He can get focused in a lot better. He's got a lot of room for improvement, but he's coachable. He's one of the best players in the country, I think, in transition, in terms of finishing at the rim, getting fouled, finding creases to get to the rim. He's become a really good decision maker in our half-court offense, and he's one of our best defensive players and rebounders. So that's a pretty complete player.
Left side, Zach.
Jay, you guys are veterans here by now, but do any of the players still get starry-eyed by being in the Knicks locker room before the game? Marquette was taking pictures there yesterday. Is that a distraction?
You know what? We actually are a pretty young team. Jalen Brunson's a freshman. Mikal Bridges is a freshman. Darryl Reynolds is playing for the first time. Josh is starting for the first time. Chris is starting for the first time. I still think some of them get a little excited about playing here. They do. I do. I love playing here, and I get fired up. I think it's funny, some of them don't love coming to New York as much as I do. They like coming to the Garden to play basketball. New York's just another city to them, some of them. We had a discussion about that, because I thought everyone got as excited as me.
Rich in front.
Both players. Just to follow up on that, what does this tournament mean to you? You have a pretty good you have a great resume for the regular season. You have big prizes down the road. What do you get out of this tournament?
You know, obviously as players, you know, we love it. We love, you know, we grow up watching the Big East. We grow up, you know, watching the crazy games. You know, I still remember that '09 Syracuse and Connecticut 6 overtime game. You know, so it's something that we grow up watching. We dream of playing in it, and the kind of and you know, just the playing it is just, you know, a great feeling. It's humbling. It's surreal. You know, then that's you know, I love it. I hate New York, but you know, I love I love playing in the tournament.
This has to be the last one over here on the right. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Brian.
There are a few players, I will say, on the last question. I think a couple people were looking for Kristaps, like his locker. So I'll comment on that he's like the sensation. But no, it's special. Like Josh said, we all remember watching games growing up. I mean, I was a Nova fan my whole life, so I think of like the buzzer beater that like Dwayne Anderson hit on the back cut against Marquette. So I think all Nova stuff when I think of the Big East tournament, and it's just special to represent Villanova here in New York.
Last question over here.
Jay, you talked about the problems kind of finishing at the rim. You think maybe you should have forced a little bit more and not settled for that outside shot, particularly in the first half?
In the first half? Yeah, but, you know, you got to try it. You know what I mean? Are you saying we should have kept going to the rim? I thought we did a better job in the second half. You know, and really making the threes in the first half kept us in it. You know, we were getting there. We weren't getting fouled. We weren't finishing. So we do have another weapon, the three-point shot, and it was working. Thank God. You know, now.
Do you think maybe you should have pushed it a little bit more and not settled for the outside shot? Kind of
I have confidence in our three-point shooting. I really do. We're always going to give that a shot to get to the rim, to post up, but we're always going to take our threes, too. I have great confidence in our shooters.
Villanova, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Josh Hart didn't really mean he hates New York. He didn't mean that.
Only time I ever came is for basketball.
It's open now for about 20 minutes or so.
So we have time to do.
Probably. No guarantees, but probably. Again, it's going to be Devontae Smith-Rivera and Bradley Hayes for Georgetown.
Hurry up, Chris, come on.
Okay, Georgetown is here. Again, we have Bradley Hayes, Devontae Smith-Rivera, Coach John Thompson III. Take questions for Coach Thompson. Gene?
John, you're up by a point with about 10 and a half to go in the second half, and then Nova scores 14 the next 15.
It was a couple things. We got some looks, and the ball just didn't go in. I mean, we got some point blank in the paint looks, and there was, you know, I feel like there were, let's say, 4 out of 5 possessions where we got an easy look. It didn't go in, and then they got a 3. And so, you know, looking back at it, you know, I don't know. I obviously haven't watched the film yet, but you know, offensively, I don't know if we should have tried to get anything other than what we got, because we were getting right there. It just happens. It didn't go in. And then they capitalized off of it. Archie, between Ryan and Chris Jenkins, you know, every time we missed a bunny, they made us pay. And that's, you know, that's a hell of a team Jay has. I think they're going to represent this conference, as will a lot of other teams that are going to play in this building today, very well over the next couple of weeks.
Right here in the middle.
Coach, can you just talk about what were some of the things you did differently against Villanova since you just played them 5 days ago?
I don't think we tried to reinvent the wheel. We didn't do too much differently. I think we just did a few things better, to be quite honest. The first time we played them at home, you know, the score was 55-50. We guarded them, they guarded us. The difference in that game was foul shots. You know, the game up in Philly was a little different. So, you know, I think we had the form. You know, we didn't come out with a victory in 3 tries, but you know, I think our guys did a good job today of just. We wanted to be aggressive at both ends of the court, just stay aggressive, and with the exception of that stretch that Gene talked about, I thought we were pretty successful doing it. But when you play a team that's as well coached as they are, that's as talented as they are, that's as cohesive as they are, you can't have that stretch.
Right here.
Just in terms of a game like today, do you think of it in terms of an opportunity to change the trajectory of a season, or is that not the way you can approach even these games here in March?
No, with us, I mean, this year has not gone the way we would have hoped or what we expected. And so you get to this time of year, and yeah, absolutely, every game, you know, if you're successful, can change the trajectory. Because if you win, you know, your whole season is different. Look at what Holy Cross did, you know, and you know, now all of a sudden they go from what was possibly not a good year to all of a sudden it might end up being a great year. So yeah, each game this time of year is important.
Right here in the middle.
Coach, is today the end of your season, or will you seek to play in another postseason tournament?
I'm not sure how that world works yet. And I say that to say, you know, I'm not used to being here. And so you know, we're going to get through the day and figure it out. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Right here, second row.
Coach, you guys had 16 offensive rebounds, shot 17 more shots than Villanova, but you only made 2 more shots. Would you say that you feel like there were points left on the board for you guys that you could have gotten maybe try to tie the game?
I'm not sure what that means. But I think it just goes back to Gene's question, is that we just had that one stretch where, and I don't know what the time frame, but he says a 14-1 run, that stretch right there. And like I said, I could be wrong. I could change my opinion when I look at the film, but I felt like even during that stretch, it wasn't like we had some games this year like, oh, they're taking too many threes, but we were getting right there. It just didn't drop. So if that means we left points on the board, then yes.
Gene.
Devontae, you're -4 in turnovers overall, but Villanova's 20-1 in points off turnovers. Were they doing something differently to capitalize on their turnovers that you guys couldn't?
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah. Villanova was up 20-1 in points off turnovers. Were they doing something differently to capitalize on their turnovers? Or your turnovers?
I mean, they're good in transition. I mean, defensively, you know, we just had to get back, and you know, it's hard for any team to cover, you know, the 3-point line in transition, along with, you know, guys running to the rim. So, you know, they did a good job in transition.
All right, Georgetown, thank you. Thank you
Let
very much.
me just say, you know, I got these 2 guys here, and they've given of themselves, along with Ryan, along with our senior managers, to this program. And, you know, one of the hard things and it's every year, you know, except for whoever the team that's going to cut down the nets in a couple of weeks, you know, to get to this point and, you know, you realize that it's finite. You know, it comes to an end. You know, you have a guy sitting to my left that's had a crazy career. You know, maybe his coach was crazy for the first 3 years, but he's someone that came to work every day, every single day, and all he cares about is Georgetown University and Georgetown basketball. I mean, in this day and age where there's so many, and all the stories you hear, a lot of them are true, where everyone is just, I want more minutes, I want more points. You know, that's the antithesis of what Bradley is about as a person. And it never was about that. It always was about just what can I do to help make this school, this program, this group of guys, you, coach, better. And I just want to thank him for that. And the guy over here, you know, it's you start talking about Georgetown greats, and a few names pop into mind, and he's quietly put himself up there with a lot of those guys. Someone that is competitor, wants to win. You know, this year and last year to a certain extent, you know, he's built to score. He's wired to score. He's a natural scorer, you know, but had to sacrifice some of himself, a lot of himself, to help bring the young kids up to snuff, to help bring everyone along. And that's big. And that's big. And so then you have Ryan. But anyway, I just wanted to thank these guys publicly. I did it in the locker room. We'll have many more forums or banquet or whatever to do it. But you feel bad as a coach as much as you want. It's like a big picture. Look at, okay, how the season went. Is the season over? Is it not over? You just wish it could end differently for these guys because of all they've given to me and to Georgetown. So I just want to say that.
Thank you. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, guys.